screen, and then I can start working with the brand, the communication, getting other people's perspective, which you will enjoy, and then we start to build a team. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think in terms of, did you speak to Deepak, by the way? No, you said like.
Tuesday I'm thinking now. He's busy. Didn't make the 12 o'clock meeting today. That's just about, but I'll pick it on Tuesday 11:30.
Okay, just speaking to him. So basically,
Yeah, no
so it's okay, right? So basically, this is, what I mean is like, we already have identified who is who, right? An example, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the structure is there. People know what they're doing. An example, right? And also we have an extended team, like in a company where, I'm sorry, I would like to ask you quickly. The morning discussion I told you, right? The company I'm talking about, that it's like a mini. They can put the money, and also they can able to add the connections, which means that they can actually bring business, which is a good value, right? Instead of investors who is actually putting just the money, they can actually bring business for us. Yeah. Did I tell you this morning? But actually we interrupted, right?
Yeah, you touched it, but we didn't go into detail.
So what effectively is that? Say an example, investor put 100,000. It is not value for us unless it is used in, what we need is a growth. If someone actually can bring a business, right? An example. So this company, I know the director, who's actually a friend also. I've been knowing him for almost more than 2 years now. And actually he's the one guy who's been with me since the beginning, from April last year. And there is also other MD, director there in the business, but actually is to do things rightly in the business. So he told me that obviously they're interested to come on board as a shareholder, as a company. And also they can able to bring the business for us. An example, they have many clients, like banking clients right now, like HSBC and those people, and they're already doing work with them. So they actually can go to HSBC and say that, okay, you know what, we already partners at strategic shareholders at AA Infinity, and together we actually wanted to do this project. So which means that they can give us a project work, $500,000, or with it.
Yeah, but keep all of that very simple. So there are three structures of income, right? One structure of income, which is what I do with Skillify, is any work I bring in, as in sales, there's a percentage that they get on that.
I agree. That could be the introductions.
So $500,000. I don't know what the ratio is. Sorry, if it's a percent, it's a lot of money. If it's a couple of million. The big trick in that is they say in maturity, which means for as long as that client brings it in. It does get grey when you start getting into second and third years of income, because I've just been there. But generally, anything they bring in, there's a percentage or 2% on whatever that is. Be generous, because when you've got money in, it's easier to pay out. It's not easy to pay out when you haven't got money. All right, so that's number one. Number two, there's equity. So whatever money they put in, what equity do they take? Do they take share options, which again I would recommend, but that they may not agree to that, but that's an issue to discuss at a later time. Yeah, and then obviously there could well be, if they're doing a lot of sales or something, you may want to have a retainer with them, or for their time, which is a time thing, or you just leave it as that. So they just bring the work in, and they take a percentage, and they have some equity in the business in the case of the sale. So, but try and keep it simple.
Yes, I think the two models for them is that I kept it very simple, two different things. Say an example. So we have terms for the business. An example, we are rising 250 right now. There is assuming it's.
The other one is what equity they bring in. They can take 5% on that, but so now they're putting money in. They're putting money in for equity, so that you don't take a percentage. But if they were to raise more money in the future, or bring an investor in, then you could give them. I'm offered 5% on Skillify. So if I bring £1 million in, I get 5%. Yeah.
That is just investment.
I can take that 5% in two ways. One way, I can take it as shares, as in share options. So for argument's sake, let's say I get 45 grand. I could put half of that, which is 22 and a half, would go in shares, and the other 22 and a half I can take as cash. Or I can take it in total cash, depending on which way we want to do it.
So you've been raising some money as well for them?
Not yet. I haven't needed to. We're basically going, obviously, for a pitch to get a couple of million quid now. That's what we're working on. If that comes in, basically, we need to look at money for 18 months. Although what we're learning is that we're going to have fallow time, time where there isn't income while we get reach, because in the academic market, you have to give everything away and then get everybody agreeing to it. And then once it's all agreed and people think it's a great product, then you have amazing traction. But it will take 18 months for that to happen.
Yeah, I remember. So just out of very basic questions, Neil, I think, I don't know, so you mentioned about, already they raised some capital, which is good enough, but obviously you're raising maybe 2 million already on a 10 million valuation, right?
Yeah, but that's not my lead, that's someone else has brought in, so we're working as a team to put that together. But I'm covered off on my retainer on that, yeah?
So, but if you can't...
Time is covered. Where I think it's going to get interesting is when we then have to build the UK market in the education market. And how am I going to, how are we going to manage that? That's going to be the interesting. Because if I'm not careful, that will take a huge amount of time while I'm trying to build the teams and everything.
Right, I agree.
That's not really what my strength is. Well, I can do it, but it's my strength is more to do with, setting things up, fixing things, and, coming up with new market strategies and new areas to market, new product development. That's where I'm strong.
I agree. So just out of question here, right? I think if they keep on increasing all the time, raising capital, is it a good sign?
No, this capital raising will basically get us 18 months and will get us into the UK market and the Irish market. Then, if you look at the numbers, they're good numbers, and they're tails, so they'll come in late in the 18 months. It won't be early in the 18 months, late in the 18 months. But once that starts to and you'll be involved in putting the platform together and everything else. So once we then start launching the product into other countries, of course, we have to go through the same process again and add it, so on and so forth. So it becomes quite a job, really. Yeah.
So basically, the next rise is actually for the growth in the UK market, obviously.
Yeah. So I think what this will do is the 18 months will get the thing up, we'll get the money coming in, we'll show that we're confident, we'll have all the systems in place, and so on and so forth, both in the direct market, the consumer market, and of course the education market, which is a slower burn. Yeah, and you have to have partners, education partners, selling to education people, education to education, as we have to do. So that's slower, and then once that's established, then I think we could go for a really big raise at that point to then hit all the countries that we want to go into. That could be for 10, 15, 20 million pounds.
Yeah, but no, but where I don't get the story right is that, you keep raising the money, that's okay, but obviously...
We don't keep always happens. We have 500,000 to develop a product, that's it, and then we're going for 2 million in order to do the Irish and the UK market and develop the last 6 games. That's it.
Okay, I understand. That is clear. So basically, every time you actually increase...
What I'm saying is after that, when you've done 18 months, 2 years from now, and then we're looking to expand it geographically and new products and so on and so forth, at that point, we'll be in a better position to put a plan together to raise maybe 10, 20, 30 million or sell out. Got
it. But tell me one thing, right? So you've gone to the 500,000. And maybe that could be maybe a 2 million valuation, right? The company already sold 20% of the business, right? And then again, you're putting this 2 million valuation, which means that you've already increased the valuation maybe to almost like 5 times, right?
Yeah.
And is it plausible, without having to, obviously, no one asks this kind of things, obviously.
No, the opposite. I mean, what we're going through now is forensic accounting. Forensic. They're going through everything on a fine tooth comb and checking everything out, and we've got to validate everything. So it's tough. Trust me,
it is. So exactly. So when you're raising 2 million, obviously you're not giving away company 50% or something, right? You should be something like maybe 20%.
No, I think the maximum the 2 million will take is 5%, something like that, 5 or 10%.
That it's like the DGX guy, right? DX guy maybe. A DX Gold guy or something you mentioned, right?
What we have to wait for, of course, is what the investor wants to take. So, it might not be acceptable. So, if he feels that it's a good product.
So if you give an example, hypothetically, 2% and 10% of the company, which is like you're targeting what, 20 million?
Yeah.
20 million valuation, right?
Yeah.
And obviously an investor can say that maybe I'm okay for 15, or maybe they say, okay, let's do 20 million, right? So
5% of that. So technically, you could argue the valuation. But of course, as you know and I know, that unless we turn that into exponential revenue, it'll be worth fuck all.
So that is where you help those guys to actually get this valuation on them.
What I've done, I think, at the moment, and again, we'll see how it goes, if we get this money on, but it's looking was to be. But I'm looking at the school. If we own schools, we won't be having any income coming in until probably late 2021, early 2022. Yeah. But because of COVID-19 and unemployment figures rising, we can get traction on that. That brings a revenue through on something they hadn't even thought about before I got involved. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's hypothetical. So, we've got to prove it.
Maybe you never know. You know what? It will be even 20 million, and the next year the Series A would be like 50 million, or maybe 100 million, right? Just like
exactly. And I think when people have lost their jobs, they're more desperate to test out, their skills, their aptitude, trying to get contacts to develop themselves or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see what the traction will be like on that. There is another possibility that we go to the government and say, look, we have this product, but what the problem we have is that until it's really accepted by the academic world, the school world, the university world, that it's a very good product, good testing product, and well respected, which it will be, then once we have that, then that puts a lot of credibility on going to the mass market. Whereas at the moment, because it's a new product, people will go, well, where the hell's this come from? The only thing that's giving it credibility is the fact that it's been done by Cambridge psychometric testing. That's the basis of the product.
That's the validation side. I understand. Okay. So I think you already run through this many things, but I think just to keep it short for this company. So already there is some similarities, and I've actually, if you stay with me 5 minutes, I will these are the kind of things I would like to ask you. Obviously, based on I've been sometimes, for me, I forget a lot of things. That's what I keep a note of most of the things I want. I'll ask the questions.
That's normal. I don't know what you know, but I write all the time. I've got to the point where I don't have to think about what I'm writing. I've just done it for so long. So I always have loads of things.
Oh, really? I use the computer nowadays because it's easy to find.
Well, I'm a bubble diagram guy, so I'm always diagrams, but then I can pick up what I've drawn. Put it into a memo and stuff. I've just done it for thousands of years. Remember, my daily job has always been a meeting like this with you and another meeting and another meeting. So I just have to take these notes and then pick them up at the end of the day.
So I wanted to just quickly, like I said, I just wanted to give a quick high-level vision of the company, right? An example. So this is what you asked me the question about where we wanted to go, right? So I would tell you 5 minutes on.
I'm glad that stimulated you guys. That's good.
What is that?
I like that. I hope you lost a bit of sleep last night thinking about where you want to take it up, because that's what I do.
No, this is what I think. I've been thinking about it, ever since. I think the problem is, like, obviously, sometimes it will trigger you. Sometimes actually you think about, why don't you actually think disruptive, right? Why do you actually rely on Twitter? Why don't you become Twitter, right?
Yeah.
This is something, if you don't have that irrational thinking, you never go forward.
Oh, exactly.
And that is what I wanted to do. We'll be the next Twitter. Maybe from maybe we can have an office in San Francisco, or maybe we can be the London-based social media platform, right?
I agree. All of those things are possible.
So this is exactly
so
what.
So what's the vision for the? Because remember, we picked up a really good thing about you're building innovative products